Hello friends, this is Sundareshan, your compliance guru, managing director. Who are they? They are persons who are conferred with the powers of the management of the affairs of the company. Now, these powers are substantial, and that is where last video we saw the difference between a whole-time director and a managing director is the managing director is vested with a substantial power. So, friends, the journey of starting your company, the journey of becoming a director has already commenced. So, what we are seeing in these series of videos are there are different roles that an individual can play. It can be a promoter director, it can be a resident director, it can be a whole time director, it can be a managing director, and each of these have got its own part, its own role to play when it comes to corporates. Now, executive director was divided into two, which is the managing director and whole time director. We have a concept called non executive director. Now, what is a non executive director? A non executive director is a person who does not receive any emoluments from the company in the form of a monthly salary. So it is not that non-executive directors are people who don't receive any remuneration or compensation. It is in a different form. As we go along, we'll see that. Now, non-executive directors are again split into two. One, independent directors and non-executive directors. Now, what is the difference between these two? Non-executive director may have some interest in the affairs of the company, whereas an independent director is a person who does not have any interest whatsoever in the affairs of the company. That leads us to one more type, which is nominee directors. Now, this concept of nominee directors is completely different from non-executive directors, which means in your company you will have multiple tiers of boards. The first tier may be executive director, the next can be non-executive director. Now, if you have received any funding in the company, there may be a requirement to appoint nominee directors. Now, such nominee directors can be representing an institution which is in the form of private equity, or they may also represent state or central government, or banks, or any other institution. While nominee directors are one of those categories who have been immunized for any violation that the company gets into, it should be remembered that when you file this form for appointment of the nominee directors, care has to be taken to upload the letter the letter nominating the director on board onto the Ministry of Corporate Affairs website. Why am I giving so much of emphasis on the letter, the authorization letter or the letter of representation? Very important. This letter is the only proof for the nominee director at a later date to go on record and put it up as an evidence that the person should not be prosecuted for any offense as the person is a nominee director. So that important the letter is, which is prepared by the institution that is nominating you as a nominee director. Once you have taken care of this, I do not foresee any problem in your occupying the position of a nominee director. There are other types of director. There is something called interested director. Now, not to confuse with directors who work with interest. Here the concept of conflict of interest plays a very important role. And what is this conflict of interest? Not to be confused with interest in conflicts. These are two different terms which needs a little detailed explanation, which we will look into in the coming videos. So, interested directors, who are they? We'll see that. Keep writing, keep questioning. Stay compliant, stay safe. See you soon.